Hey y'all, it's Kim. So of course this is back in the Epstein files. We're just going through some of the pictures from the Manhattan mansion. If you hear my neighbor, he just has to be a jerk riding on some kind of like a little four-wheeler thing, just making noise and being a nuisance. So anyway, hopefully it's not coming through too loud on here, but it just bugs me. But anyway, we are, like I said, back at Epstein's Manhattan mansion, and there's just like an office, sitting area, whatever, and then some books on a shelf. Nothing too exciting with these. I'm still looking for all the videos. There's so many documents, and so many of them are just kind of like, I don't know what to make heads or tails. They don't really put them in there in any kind of real order. You don't know what the hell's going on. With that many documents, I guess they just had to dump them quick. And so, yeah, anyway. So these are just a few of the pictures from the inside of Epstein Mansion that I think he got from Les Wexner in New York. So yeah. Um, there's that. Another bathroom. They've got a lot of bathrooms. There's another closet in the bathroom. hmm Nothing too exciting. Okay. So there's some kind of records here in boxes. We'll tell him. And we'll probably never get to the bottom of all of this stuff and how many people have been covered up for. It's just ridiculous. So it looks like more records and binders and boxes and stuff. And I'm sure you can hear the stupid neighbor. This guy. Ah. Okay, so there's just a utility room of some sort. Okay. Like I said, nothing too exciting. Okay, there's like air conditioning, ventilation area. And then there's the back hallway. Why do they need that? They don't really, I don't think they have any kind of, uh, they live in the city. I think it's more concrete than anything. What do they need all that for? It's kind of strange. All right, looks like a maid's type uniform. And there's a little closet. That's what those look like to me. I don't know. Back staircase. We've seen this. I think there's several floors to this mansion thing. And again, let's say this sixth floor. Back staircase again, and there's some more of that potting soil stuff, which kind of weird. What's that for? All right, we got just the entrance to that utility closet thing. All right, gotta find my spot again. So sixth floor again, back staircase. And again, back hallway. Now this thing looks massive, y'all. Okay, so there's heating water. Nothing exciting in those pictures. Let me see what this last one was. This may be just a repeat of something. Okay, this was actually just one of the emails. I put in videos in the library thing here, and anyway, it came up with that email. Oh shoot, what is this? Let me get this out of here. Oh, that's something else. Yeah, Department of Justice to publishes 3.5 million responsive pages in compliance with the Epstein Files Transparency Act. I'm still looking through it. I'll just be honest, there's a lot of stuff in here. There's still so much. It's kind of overwhelming when you're looking through it. Hold on, back to this email. What is it? I'll just read it. So this is the FBI, I guess, in New York, and then CID, FBI. I don't know who these are. All that's been redacted, but it says forwarded videos or forward about videos. So this is March 21st, 2025. It says, hello all. During the call today with Director Patel, D.D. Bongino, and Redacted, we, or New York, were asked about the content of video seized in specific sexual acts and massages. Below is response provided, and it thanks. And all these names pretty much been redacted except for Daniel Bongino. And then good evening, Dee Bongino, to follow up and provide a response to questions regarding the content and nature of videos and evidence. We are currently in the process of reviewing all digital media from the 50D case. I don't know what that 50D is. Due to the massive quantity of data, we foresee continuing to review as noted in the timeline and per an email response from SDNY AUSA redacted, dated 3/11/2025. I provide the email in its entirety to redacted earlier today. Portions of her email are applicable to our discussions regarding live sex tapes. AUSA Comey notes the nature and content of the videos, and there were no videos of any sexual abuse identified at any point in the investigation. Below are the relevant portions, which that doesn't make sense because remember when Pam Bondi said that there was like thousands of hours worth of that material. So I'm not sure the CSAM stuff. And if you know what CSAM is, I mean, we're already using that SEX word, but I'm just saying anything against children, obviously. But it says the case agents and AUSAs ensure that all videos and images from the case file and from Epstein's residences and devices were reviewed for evidence of a crime. Those reviews revealed no evidence from any of the searches we conducted or any of the files we reviewed that any videos or other images exist of any victims in this case being sexually abused, nor did those reviews reveal any evidence that anyone other than Epstein and Maxwell participated in the sexual abuse of victims in this case. We are aware of the theories circulated in the media and online that Epstein videos recorded the abuse of his victims, including by other men, but we have found no evidence to support that theory. Indeed, had we found such videos, we certainly would have used them as evidence in the criminal cases we investigated and prosecuted and would have pursued any leads they generated. We did not, however, locate any such videos. Below, please find more details about the video evidence gathered during this investigation. Excuse me, this went too far. Okay. So it says during the searches of Epstein's New York residence and the U.S. Virgin Island residence, Little St. James, in 2019, the FBI searched for videos and surveillance cameras. My understanding from the case the case agent is that there were no cameras found inside any bedrooms or living areas of either residence. I understand that surveillance cameras were located near the entrances of the residence. I also understand that the surveillance systems only, good grief, it keeps going farther. Hold on, sorry. Okay, almost. Let's just stay here. I also understand that the surveillance systems only retain video for a limited period of days and that the only recordings available were very recent surveillance from 2019 and would thus not have been or have depicted anything relevant to our investigation, which focused on the 1990s and early 2000s. Accordingly, those surveillance videos were not seized because they were not responsive to the warrants allowing, hold on, dang it, allowing the FBI to seize only certain evidence from those premises. The FBI had no legal authority to seize recent surveillance videos from 2019 under the warrants issued by SDNY and USVI courts. During the searches of Epstein's residences in 2019, the FBI seized a large number of CDs, some hard copy photographs, and at least one videotape containing nude images of females, some of whom appeared to possibly be minors in their late teens. The case agents reviewed all of these images, and they were all made available to Maxwell's counsel for review and discovery. None of the images depicted sexual abuse, and none depicted any males with any of the nude females. Some of these images included nude photographs of victims who were the focus of Maxwell's trial, and we marked some of those photographs as sealed exhibits for trial. The victims are alone in these photos. Because those images contain sensitive photos of victims of sexual abuse that have never been released publicly. As I referenced in my email to you this morning, the FBI and SDNY undertook a full review of all electronic devices seized from Epstein's residences and incident to his arrest in 2019. As part of that review, a team of FBI agents, FBI analysts, SDNY AUSAs, and SDNY paralegals divided up the review of over 1 million images and videos that FBI carts, I guess, extracted from Epstein's devices. The reviewers all follow the same protocol for the review, which involved at least one member of the review team personally reviewing each image and video extracted from each device and determining whether the image or video was responsive to the search warrants in this case. In an effort to be as broad as possible, the protocol directed reviewers to identify as responsive, among other things, any image or video depicting any female who appeared to be under the age of 30. And how would you know that? I mean, not everybody ages the same. How could you tell if a woman's under 30? Okay, so it says as a result of that review, any image or video of on any of Epstein's devices depicting any potential victim was identified as responsive and saved. The case agent collected and maintained a copy of all images and videos identified responsive through this search. Attached, please find the index detailing how many images and videos were identified responsive to the warrants and what designation they received under the protective order in the Maxwell case. Note that materials designated highly confidential contain nudity. Please also note that the index does not include Epstein's iPhone or 6 iPads, which were reviewed on Celebrite using the same protocol for videos and images described above. And I couldn't imagine being one of the people that has to sit and look through all that stuff. I don't care who it is. Anyway, I just can't imagine having to sit and look through all of it. Okay, although that review identified many images and videos that were responsive to the warrants in our criminal investigation, none depicted the sexual abuse of any victim, and none revealed any perpetrators of sexual abuse other than Epstein and Maxwell, which is so weird, but I just don't see how that's possible. If you need additional documentation for this review, please let me know. The Palm Beach Police Department video recorded interviews of victims at their police station, which I actually found those, and they're uploaded in this playlist. Just if you want to go back and look, I think it just says something like Epstein victim number 1, 2, 3, or something like that. Okay, sorry. The Palm Beach Police Department video recorded interviews of victims at their police station. Video recorded parts of their search of Epstein's Palm Beach residence, which I also have that in there, and then also received a small number of videos from Epstein's Palm Beach residence. All those videos were transferred to the FBI's custody, are part of the case file, and were reviewed by the AUSAs and case agents during our investigation. None of these videos depict the abuse of any victims or provide evidence suggesting anyone other than Epstein and Maxwell participated in the abuse of victims. SDNY introduced the video recording of the search of Epstein's Palm Beach residence as an exhibit at trial. And then none of the videos identified above contained potential CSAM. As noted above, there were no videos of any sexual abuse identified at any point in the investigation. There were, however, approximately a dozen photographs containing CSAM found in one of Epstein's devices, or on one of Epstein's devices. Those images were identified by the case agent as CSAM that Epstein obtained over the internet, not CSAM depicting any of Epstein's victims or produced by Epstein. A copy of those images was maintained by the case agent in the case file with the other images and videos seized and identified responsive during the review of Epstein's devices detailed above. I'm available at any time for any questions. And then let's see. Hold on. Let me see who this was. Thank you. Oh, acting assistant director in charge, Federal Bureau of Investigation, New York. Let's see. Okay, I bet this would have the name on there, but it doesn't. Anyway, so we saw some pictures, we saw the email, and of course nobody else was involved. But then recently they released a list of 300 names. Let's see if we can find that. I couldn't find it on here, but let me go back. We're just gonna see what we can find here. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna see if we can find it. I'm gonna have to do a separate video on it, but if I can find that name list, hmm let's see if it's in here. Because this stuff is just not in any kind of real order. Okay. I just want to see if it was at the end of this section or not. Where did it go? I'm gonna have to look for. Okay, this is just okay. This is that those people that were working at the MCC when Epstein passed, I guess. I think that's what that was. Yeah, Tovin Neal and Michael Thomas, because they were the ones. This is kind of weird. November 8th, 2018, but I thought he died in 2019. Weird. Anyway, I'll have to look that list up, but I will talk to y'all later. Have a good one. Bye. Come on. All right.